Morning team, how you doing? Gavin here from the Growing Younger team, and this video is about, do you have tight or weak hip flexors? This is going to be part number one, okay? A lot of people struggle with a bit of back pain, they get a bit of hip pain, and sometimes they always believe that it's due to weak hip flexors, okay, or tight hip flexors. It is very true that when we sit down and our legs are sort of flexed, okay, they will shorten, they will get tight. But a lot of the times they're actually not very strong either. So I'm going to give you one little exercise that you can do to determine whether or not you got weak or tight hip flexors, okay? So find yourself a raised level where your leg is just past sort of parallel with the floor. If it's too low, it's not going to hit the muscles we want. It needs to be just above parallel, okay? I want you to lift your leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and you work your way up to 10. If you can't do 10 to 15, it is likely you have weak hip flexors. Therefore, you need to strengthen those hip flexors. And how do you do that? That exercise. Build up to 3 sets of 10 to 15. And that will hopefully strengthen those hip flexors and give you less pain over time. With part number 2, do you have tight hip flexors? This is a very simple exercise that you can do to determine whether or not your hip flexors are tight. So you're going to come and lie down on a flat surface. A bench is a good idea, and you're going to bring yourself up into this position, okay? Then you're going to let one leg go forward. And if this leg doesn't touch the bottom of the bench, or if it's not parallel with the floor, okay, then it means you've got tight hip flexors, and then likely your legs will sort of dangle and hang there, okay? And if that is the case for you, then there's one stretch that you need to do. So we're going to even it up and do the other side and check that one. I've got pretty good flexibility on my hip flexors, so I don't really need to stretch them. But if you do have a tight hip flexor, this is one exercise that you can do. And simply you're going to come down onto the floor and you're going to sit your bum back, then you're going to push it forward. And this is going to really stretch the inside of that hip flexor right there. And that's going to give you some relief if you have got tight hip flexors. You want to be doing this stretch for about 20 to 30 seconds, okay? And you're going to do that maybe once a day at least, okay, if you're not doing it right now. And one little tip for you as well is that don't lean into it. Use your glute to initiate the stretch and push into it. And that's going to basically stretch those hip flexors. Have a really good day, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.